Friends, today we're diving into one of the most closely guarded topics in global politics. Who really controls the world's second largest economy? And why might Xi Jinping, the so-called new emperor, according to Western media, not be as all-powerful as he seems? I'm going to reveal the hidden power structures in the Middle Kingdom that are reshaping the global order. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Things are about to get intense. Let's start with some shocking facts. 2024 has been a true test for Xi Jinping. Just think, over 80 top executives from China's largest corporations have been arrested or vanished under mysterious circumstances. This isn't just an anti-corruption campaign, it's a sweeping purge of the economic elite. But here's the paradox. The harder Xi tries to consolidate power, the more signs we see of it weakening. Remember Admiral Miao Hua. On November 28 last year, China's Ministry of Defense announced his removal. Miao was the fourth highest-ranking official in China's military hierarchy, overseeing political work in the People's Liberation Army. And he's the third top general to be removed in just 2 years. Coincidence? I don't think so. This signals serious trouble even within the most loyal institution, the PLA. The real intrigue started after the third plenum of the CCP Central Committee. Political analysts began talking about a quiet process of Xiification, a gradual weakening of the cult of personality. This isn't an open revolt. It's far more dangerous for any dictator: elite indifference. When your name appears less and less in headlines, when your initiatives are quietly sabotaged on the ground, when regional party bosses start acting independently, that's the beginning of the end for any authoritarian regime. By the way, share this video with your friends. Information like this isn't found in mainstream news, and YouTube's algorithms favor active discussions. Now let's talk about the real puppet masters. While everyone's watching Xi Jinping, real power may belong to others entirely. Take Wang Hunning, often called the party's chief ideologue and the CCP's brain trust. This political theorist ranks fourth in the Standing Committee of the Politburo, but his influence might far exceed his official position. Wang Hunning is a unique figure in Chinese politics. He has served 3 generations of leaders: Jiang Zemin, Hu Jintao, and now Xi Jinping. Imagine one person shaping China's ideology for 3 decades. In January 2025, at a meeting of China's Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, he called for support of the private sector. It sounds technical, but it's actually a signal for a major shift in economic policy. Here's where it gets even more interesting. China's economic problems have reached a critical point. Growth has slowed to its lowest in decades. Youth unemployment is at record highs. The real estate market is cracking. In 2024 alone, housing prices in major cities dropped 20–30%. This is a disaster for an economy where real estate is the foundation of middle-class wealth. Remember how Mao Zedong reacted when his economic policies failed. He handed real power to Liu Shaoqi and Deng Xiaoping, keeping only ideological leadership. Maybe we're witnessing something similar now. Xi remains the nominal leader, but real decisions are made by technocrats like Premier Li Qiang and ideologues like Wang Hunning. Be sure to leave your thoughts on this theory in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for notifications. We have many more exposés coming. Security forces are a whole other story. China has several parallel power structures competing with each other: the People's Liberation Army, the People's Armed Police, and the Ministry of State Security. Each has its own interests and patrons within the party elite. The mass purges in military leadership could mean Xi is trying to remove potential rivals, or that the military itself is preparing a power shift. Remember Lin Biao, Mao's close ally who attempted a coup in 1971. Or think of Bo Xilai, the charismatic party leader arrested in 2012, just before Xi came to power. CCP history is full of examples where today's allies become tomorrow's enemies. Most importantly, these Chinese developments impact the whole world. If Xi really is losing control, What does that mean for Russia? Our countries are strategic partners, but Chinese elites may have very different views on relations with Moscow. Technocrats and liberal economists in Beijing dislike sanctions that complicate trade with the West because of the Russian factor. China's military budget in 2025 reached a record $246 billion, twice what it was when Xi took office. But the question is not the size of the budget, but who controls that money and those armed forces. If military generals start acting independently, the geopolitical landscape in the Asia-Pacific could change dramatically. For the U.S., a weakened Xi is both an opportunity and a threat. On one hand, a weaker Chinese leader means less aggressive foreign policy. On the other, political instability in a nuclear power with 1.5 billion people is a global risk. The American economy is too tightly linked with China's to ignore chaos in the Middle Kingdom. The European Union faces a tough situation, too. German industry critically depends on the Chinese market, but political instability in China could collapse the entire EU-China trade system, costing hundreds of thousands of jobs and trillions of euros in trade. If you're interested in this topic, check out my previous video about US-China trade wars. The link is in the description. What's next? I see a few scenarios. First, Xi manages to hold power by implementing limited economic reforms and changing some team members. Second, a gradual shift to collective leadership, where Xi remains first among equals but not a sole dictator. Third, a forceful scenario where the military or security services seize control. The most dangerous, fourth scenario. If Xi feels he's losing power, he might take desperate measures, military conflict with Taiwan or other neighbors. History shows many examples of weak dictators starting wars to unite their nations. That's when we face a real global crisis. But there's a more optimistic outlook. Maybe we're witnessing the natural evolution of China's political system. After decades of growth, a new generation of Chinese leaders, educated, pragmatic, connected to the global economy, is emerging. They understand that isolationism and personality cults are dead ends. Regional leaders in Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou are already pursuing more liberal economic policies than the center mandates. They attract foreign investment, develop high-tech industries, and create freer business environments. If these trends strengthen, we may see gradual decentralization of power in China. Now let's talk about what Western analysts don't mention: the role of Chinese oligarchs and shadow financial clans. While attention focuses on Beijing's political struggle, real puppet masters may reside in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and even Singapore. Family business empires founded during Deng Xiaoping's era control huge financial flows. Take the Li Ka-shing family or the Guo Wengui clan, for example. These people wield influence strong enough to dictate terms even to the central government. When authorities tried to rein in tech giants like Alibaba and Tencent in 2021, the real battle wasn't with Jack Ma or Pony Ma, but their powerful patrons in the party elite. And here's the interesting part. These financial clans have direct links to international capital markets. They hold assets in the US and Europe, maintain accounts in Swiss banks, and their children study at Harvard and Oxford. For them, political stability matters more than ideological purity. If Xi continues isolationist and confrontational policies toward the West, these elites could become his biggest opponents, and they have all the leverage, control over the banking system, and influence on regional party bosses. The most mysterious player is the Chinese security services. The Ministry of State Security traditionally operates in the shadows, but wields immense influence over key decisions. Unlike politicians who come and go, the security apparatus endures through any political upheaval. They hold compromat on all major players, control information flows, and know the real state of the economy and society. If the KGB had a faction that eventually brought Gorbachev to power, why couldn't a group within China's security services be preparing Xi Jinping's replacement right now? Think about that and share your theories in the comments. Friends, we live in an era of great change. What's happening in Beijing today will shape the fate of the world for decades to come. Stay tuned, share this video with friends, and tell us which scenario for China's future you think is most likely. See you in the next episode.